What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Corstex coming back at you once again with another video, and I just wanted to do a follow-up video. I did get a couple of my subscribers. One of my subs, Ari, wants to do a live stream with me, political live stream. I'm all for it. I'm probably going to do a live stream on the night of the elections. So, because I think it's important that we follow this from beginning to end. Also, I just wanted to let my brother Big Mike Sowell, I invite him if he wants to, the brother Santee Walden, the bottom line, he has been following this political thing from beginning to end. And anybody else who wants to join on and discuss this historic midterm elections. So let me bring into what I came to do this video about. I did a video and I said that right now that the Republicans, the rumor has it that the Republicans are currently right now behind closed doors, pretty much expecting the worst. And they should. And the reason why is, as you can see on the screen here. Now, what's interesting is that mainstream media they don't want to count their chickens. So mainstream media, they've been all over the place the last 2 days. One poll, they show the Democrats have a double-digit lead. Another poll, they had just the next day, the very next day, the Democrats only have a 7-point lead. This is to be expected. Do not get discouraged, do not get worried, or do not get nervous, okay? What this is right here, as you can see on the screen, the reason why the polls are unreliable is because of the likely people who are voting. A big majority of mainstream media political polls, they take their polls from older voters, not younger voters. Unless it's specifically targeted to, let's say, them going to a college campus and seeing who's registered to vote and who's not. Or they specifically target a certain demographic. What you're seeing here, and I was online yesterday, and I wanted to take a look just to see, going from state to state, the drastic leap of young registered voters, first-time voters, has doubled since 2014. And that's just for this election. That's bad news. That is historically bad news for the GOP, because historically young voters tend to vote Democrat. Okay? And so it goes like this. While Trump has pretty much resided that he's going to lose the House, do not be so sure about the Senate. Do not be so sure that he thinks they have the Senate in lockstep. And I think too, what's also interesting is that I wonder just what will be the topic of conversation on Wednesday if they lose a lot of seats in the Senate. Let's say that this blue tsunami happens, which I believe it is going to happen. I said this, many candidates are going to get late voter surge. Some candidates are already in lockstep, and they'll probably win by 2 or 3 more percentage points, because you have to think about where these guys are running. They're running in deeply red states, and they're flipping them. So they have a big margin of error to cover. You look at if the Dems take the House, then you look at certain Senate races like Beto O'Rourke in Texas. You look at certain places where Democrats are behind, if they are able to come back and eke out a win in red states. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter what mainstream media will try to tell you, that is a blue wave. What it is that they're just in deep red states. Okay, and they have to cover a large percentage point. Okay, the point spread. If Democrats take seats that they should lose in the Senate, look for the topic of conversation and discussion on Wednesday to be, this is all Donald Trump's fault. And this is going to be laid at the feet by the Republican Party to say, oh, well, we wanted you to run on the economy. We wanted you to run on what our accomplishments the last 2 years, you decided that you wanted to run on what? Fear-mongering, racism, bigotry, xenophobia, all the things that basically why we lose the House. You pretty much crippled the Senate. And what's interesting about this is that mainstream media, I'm going back and forth today. I'm like going to Fox News. I'm looking at MSNBC. I'm looking at CNN. They're all so nervous to make the mistake that they made in 2016, which is to go by generally the temperature in the air, to see the momentum, to go and just say, listen, the Democrats have this in the bag. You don't have a terrorist attack, somebody sending bombs to Democratic constituents and Democratic politicians. You don't sit there and have somebody shoot up a Jewish synagogue, you know, and has been stoked by the very fear that the president is now sitting up there running his platform on, and secure a win. It's over. I've said this. I know several other people who have done political commentary have said this. The terrorist bombing. Sorry, excuse me. It's early in the morning. Terrorist bombing that happened early on this month. The addition of the synagogue, the addition of women voters, college-educated women voters, has literally doubled from the time that they voted for Obama. Brett Kavanaugh, I'm just going to tell you, this is all the things that there's no way the Republicans take this. Okay, we can say that because we have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. I come on YouTube. I do political commentary. I'm not represented by donors or anything like that. Mainstream media is terrified to just come out and say they know the inevitability. I was watching Fox and Friends, right? Normally, you would think that Fox and Friends would be so confident to say, well, yeah, we're going to take everything. We're going to take the House. We're going to take the Senate. No, they're toting the line as well. You know why? Because they see that they've seen those polls. They've seen the likely voters are younger. They've seen the college-educated women and independents distance themselves from the Republican Party. They know that they could be in for a literal, I don't want to say bloodbath because it represents red, but let's look at it from that perspective. It'll be a political bloodbath this coming up Tuesday. I told you guys to look at what Speaker Ryan did. He releases a press statement saying that he wants and he would hope. Look at the language in which he's using. The top Republicans understand and know that they're in a really bad spot right now. So remember what I also said. After Tuesday, look for the Republicans to start completely separating themselves from Donald Trump. And I would be hard-pressed to sit here and say that we might even see, like I said, Mitch McConnell, top Republicans publicly reach across the aisle to the House. And when you see that publicly happen, look for Donald Trump to give a blanket statement about how I want to work with the Dems. They can't be obstructionists. You know, the typical political lingo. But what will be happening behind the scenes is everyone knows what will happen when the House flips blue. We all know it. We've known it since 2016. If the House is blue, Donald Trump's presidency is over. Everyone knows that they want to subpoena him. There's several people in his cabinet which are under investigation, which haven't moved since the House has been read. We know that they literally want to see several documents. They can actually get his tax returns. All of these different things. It's over after Tuesday. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like I said to Ari, who sent me that message saying you want to come on my live stream, on political live stream, I'm definitely open to it. I want to get a couple people because I want to get a couple people's different perspectives, and we can talk about what we see moving forward for the country, what we see in the political landscape. That is, what we see, the pretty much the after effects of Donald Trump's presidency moving forward. And now that young voters are more actively involved, what does that mean for the types of Democrats that are chosen in the election? What does that mean in 2020? Do we get finally a progressive president on the ticket like Bernie Sanders? You know, like, will we get somebody who represents the so on quote unquote fear mongering political talking point on the right, the Venezuelan democratic socialist? You know, like, will we get that? So it's your boy Quest X. I'm out. Peace.